everyone. Today I am here with a new reading topic, and the name of the topic is A Spark, a Flint, How Fire Leapt to Life. So this is a reading passage, and in this one we have to solve 13 questions. So first few questions are fill in the blanks, wherein you are given list of words and you have to choose this list of words and put in the blanks. So these are 8 questions, and the second type of questions are matching type of matches, and you have to match these matches with these ones, these statements. So these are a total 15 questions. So without wasting any time, let's start reading the passage, and we will analyze and we will understand the first statement, so that we are able to find the answer to this one. They tried to dash burning logs or charcoal dash that they could create fire themselves. It is suspected that the first man-made flames were produced by dash. So we have to search for the location. So the location would be somewhere where the word fire is written, or first man-made flames. Alright, now let's start reading the passage, and we will just skim and skip it until we reach the word fire or man-made flames. The control of fire was the first and perhaps greatest of humanity's step towards a life-enhancing technology. Okay, fire. To early man, fire was a divine gift randomly delivered in the form of lightning, forest fire or burning lava. Unable to make flame for themselves, the earliest people probably stored fire by keeping slow burning logs alight or by carrying charcoal in pots. Okay, so they are talking about people, and they are also talking about charcoal. So our question was related to charcoal. So they tried to dash burning logs. So what, they were doing something with this thing, burning logs or charcoal, and dash that they could create fire themselves, and creating fire by their own. So we'll try to find a word related to that. So we'll try to fill it up. They tried to dash burning log or charcoal. So where is the word burning log or charcoal? Burning log and charcoal. Okay, so this is the location. So let's understand this. Unable to make flame for themselves means they were not able to make flames by their own. The earliest people probably stored fires because they knew that they will not be able to create flame for themselves. That's why they stored it, they preserved it, they kept it safe. And they kept it safe by doing what? By doing these things. Carrying charcoal in pots and keeping slow burning logs. Okay. Alright. So we are able to understand the meaning, and then now let's move to the fill up. They tried to dash burning logs or charcoal because they knew that they will not be able to produce the flame for themselves. That's why they were storing it very carefully, right? Alright, so we have all these words, so we will find the related words. They tried to dash. There was a word they tried to store. So we will find a synonym for the word store. They tried to preserve. So they try to preserve burning logs or charcoal dash that they could create fire themselves, because they were like they are not able to create the fire, but in actual they were able to, because in the next one we will be understanding that how the fire was invented and all that stuff. But initially they were unaware that they didn't know that they have the capability to create flame for themselves. So let's find a word They try to preserve burning logs or charcoal dash that they could create fire themselves. Unaware. They were unaware because they were unaware that they are able to create fire for themselves. So the second answer is unaware. It is suspected that first man-made flames were produced by. Okay. So we will find something related to first man-made flames. Let's read the next one. How and where man learned how to produce flame at will is unknown. So we got the second answer from here, because they knew that they were unable to make flame themselves, and they were unknown that they have the capacity. All right. It was probably a secondary invention accidentally made during tool cutting operation with wood or stone. So they were making some kind of tools, or they were carrying out some kind of operations with wood and stone, and accidentally this happened. Accidentally they were able to invent the flame or the fire. So accidentally. Okay. And the third one was, it's suspected that first man-made flames. First man-made flames means first man-made flame were produced by. So because they were working with these ones, means who were working? Man. People were working, and they invented the fire accidentally. So we have to find the synonym for the word accidentally. Chance, because there is a word by chance. So the synonym for accidentally is by chance. The very first fire lightning methods involved creation of dash by rapidly dash a wooden stick into a hole. The first fire, so we have to find the location, the very first fire lightning method. So we have to talk about fire lightning method. Let's see. Studies of primitive society suggest that earliest methods of fire was through friction. So they are also talking about first fire lightning method involved the creation of friction. So the earliest method involved the creation of friction. Friction was created. European peasants would insert a wooden drill in a round hole and rotate it briskly between their palms. This process could be speeded up by wrapping a cord around the drill and pulling on each end. Okay, so this is the whole process, that how they were able to create flames. So the friction was created, and then the peasants would do what? They would insert a wooden drill in a round hole. They will insert a wooden drill in a round hole and rotate it. It means wooden drill. They will rotate the wooden drill between their palms. Okay. The very first fire lighting method involved the creation of friction. So there is a word friction already given. Rapidly dash a wooden stick. Yes, so they were doing something with the wooden stick. Rapidly, they were rotating the wooden stick inside the round hole, right? Rapidly rotating. Sometimes the word is exactly written there, and sometimes the synonyms. The use of dash or persistent chipping was also widespread in Europe and among other people such as Chinese and dash. Chinese and dash, because there is a word and it's Chinese, so some kind of people would be there. Maybe Mexicans or Eskimos are also kind of people. So the answer to 7 would either be Mexicans or Eskimos. And then with 8 we should be able to complete this. The use of dash or persistent chipping was also widespread. Okay, so we have to find something related to persistent chipping. Europe Chinese. Okay, let's read. Percussion methods. Okay, of fire lightning date back to Paleolithic times, when some Stone Age tool makers discovered that chipping flints produced sparks. Okay, so the method used was percussion, and chipping flints produced spark. Okay, the technique became more efficient after the discovery of the iron. In Arctic North America, the Eskimos produced a slow burning spark. By striking quartz against iron pyrites. Okay, the Chinese lit their fires by striking porcelain with bamboo. So they are talking about striking the thing. So Chinese also lit their fire by striking, and Eskimos also lit their fire by striking. So these two people, were able to produce the fire flame. So the answer to that one would be Eskimos along with Chinese. And the method which was used was which? Let's see. The use of dash or persistent chipping. Okay, so they are talking about chipping. And the other method, because there's a word method, so the method would be percussion. Is there a word related? The use of dash or persistent chipping was also widespread in Europe among other people such as Chinese, and they're not talking about Mexicans, but they are talking about Eskimos. So answer to 7 is Eskimos. European practice of this method continued until 1850. This method means any kind of method which we are talking here. Okay, yes. So the method would be percussion method, because they are talking about this method. This method is a kind of method which we have already, talked about. So the use of which method? So percussion would be the answer, because percussion is the method. Percussion is also a word given. European practice of this method continued until 1850 dash the discovery of phosphorus. Yes, so they were doing that. In Europe, the combination of steel, flint and tinder remained the main method of fire lightning until the mid-19th century. Mid-19th means 1850. Mid-20th means 1950. So be very careful with this thing. So mid-19th century doesn't mean 1950 but 1850. Fire lightning was revolutionized by the discovery of phosphorus, isolated in 1669 by a German. Fire lightning was revolutionized by phosphorus. Okay. By a German alchemist trying to transmute silver into gold, impressed by elements, several 17th century chemists used it, manufactured fire, but the results were dangerously invalid. Okay, so last one. European practice of this method continued until the 1850s, and they are talking about 90th century, means answer is here. And then there was a discovery of phosphorus also. So it was a method, so this method continued until until and maybe some other word, despite can also come. Other grammatical words cannot come. So until means till that point, despite means despite the discovery of phosphorus, they were used. All right. So fire lightning was revolutionized by the discovery of phosphorus. Revolutionized means it went to a next level. So the previous methods were not stopped, but fire lightning went to the next step, was taken to the next level with the discovery of phosphorus. So the discovery of phosphorus was there, but still other methods were used because of this word revolutionized. So they're not talking anything about until, because until word is already there, so we grammatically we can't write until here, so the only option left is despite. All right, so the next ones are matches. So there are a few other questions also. These are the questions we have to find. So these are 9 to 15. So how to do these ones? So we have to match these ones with the type of matches. Means matchstick. So there are different type of matches: ethereal match, instantaneous lightbox, Congreves, Lucifers, the first strike anywhere match, Lunt storm, safety match, book matches. So these are the type of matches. These are the types, and these are the statements related to these type of matches. So we have to match like this. Right. Let's start reading about these type of matches. All right. Right. The quest of practical match really began after this, when a group of French chemists came up with the phosphoric candle or ethereal match. So they are talking about ethereal match, a sealed glass tube containing a twist of paper tipped with phosphorus. Okay, so ethereal match. When the tube was broken, air rushed in, causing the phosphorus to self-combust. An even more hazardous device popular in America was instantaneous light box, a bottle filled with sulfuric acid into which splints treated with chemicals were tipped. Okay, so they are talking first about ethereal, and then they are talking about instantaneous. So I will just keep on reading. The first match resembling those used today were made in 1827 by John Walker, an English pharmacist who borrowed the formula from military rocket called Congreve. Okay, so third one they are talking about Congreve. Costing a shilling box, Congreves were splint coated with sulfur and tipped with potassium. To light them, the user drew them quickly through this. Okay, so this third thing they are talking about Congreve. Let's read another one as well, and then we'll find our answers. Walker never patented his invention, and 3 years later it was copied by Samuel, who marked as Lucifers is the fourth one. Matchstick. About the same time, French chemistry student this produced a flint. Strike anywhere was the fifth type. Match by substituting white phosphorus for potassium chlorate. However, since white phosphorus is deadly poison, from this match maker exposed to its fumes come to this a disease that eats away jawbones. Okay. So I'm able to understand all these ones. Maybe some answers are here, but let's see. So we were able to find ethereal match, this, Congreves, Lucifers, and this one as well. So we were able to find locations for all these ones. Only these ones are left. Maybe they are on the right side. So made using a less poisonous. So yes, they were talking about poisonous. They are talking about phosphorus. They are not talking about less poisonous. Identical to a previous type of match. Because there was a word, it was copied. Copied means previous types, and which was the one which was copied and similar, it was Lucifer. So the answer for 10th, which is identical to the previous type of match, so it's Lucifer. It's D. Caused a deadly disease. Yes, so we were also talking about this one. We read this, that a deadly disease is caused. So in the last, a deadly disease is caused. So what type of it was? they're again talking about strike anywhere. Strike anywhere. So strike anywhere is E. Caused a deadly illness. So which one caused the deadly illness? The first strike anywhere. So deadly. Alright. So the next one. First to look like modern matches. First to look like modern matches. Okay. So we are able to do this, but not this one. First to look like modern matches. Okay, so it's the question number 12. Okay, here we go. The first match is resembling those used today. So the ones which are used today, the matching were Congreves. So first to look like modern matches are Congreves. So Congreves means C. 12th is C. First matches used for advertising. So in the left side there is nothing being talked about advertisement. So we are not doing this one. Relied on an artificial light container. So we learnt about that glass thing in the first two. A glass tube. Ethereal match, a sealed glass tube. So they were using a glass tube. Glass tube means air, sealed glass tube. Sealed glass tube for ethereal. And the sealed glass tube, airtight. Sealed glass tube means airtight container, and it was ethereal. Ethereal is A. So the answer is A. Made with the help of an army design. We also talked something about army. Military rocket. Military rocket was again Congreve. So military rocket means army design, and it was Congreve. So it's C. We are left with 9th and 13th. Less poisonous, type of phosphorus, and advertising. Okay. Let's read. That was 62 years after this has discovered non-toxic and or red amorphous. So yes, they are talking about non-toxic, but which type of safety? Lundstorm safety matches. Okay. So made use of less poisonous. Less poisonous was Lundstorm. So it's F. The last one is the match used for advertising. Maybe somewhere here. So we'll just not read the entire passage. We'll try to find the word advertisement. Advertising. Advertising. So which one? For 13th. Let's see. The American, however, can claim several firsts in match technology. Several firsts in match technology. First. And in this. Pioneered book matches. Okay, so book matches. Book matches is linking with advertising. Okay, so book matching. So we have to find something related to advertising. So it's book matching, G. Alright, so this was all about matching. So each reading passage should have a different method of solving. So in this one I didn't read it like the first paragraph and then finding the answer, second paragraph and then finding the answer. I was sure that I will be able to retain the information if I mark somewhere. So I marked all type of matches and then tried to find the answer simultaneously. So it was a real quick thing. So this was all about the topic, which is a spark, a flint, how fire leapt to life. So try to solve this passage with me. I can also put a PDF if you want to solve it by your own. And if you want such more videos, then subscribe to my channel and just let me know which type of video do you prefer, the one with real book passages or the one on on laptop or any technical gadget. So if you find these ones useful, so just subscribe to my channel and share with all your friends so that they can get a lot out of it. So this was all about for today's reading video. So see you tomorrow. Bye for now.